Question 5, and what is it saying? Question 5, it says an angle of pi over 7, so this is our angle, gives an arc length, blah, blah, blah. So what was the diameter? So anyway, an arc, I need you to know what an arc is. When we have a circle, so we have a circle like this. If we take from, this is the center, right? Any line that, this is a small lesson on circles. If you draw a line that comes from one side of the circle to go to another side of the circle without passing through the center, like this one, it doesn't touch the center. It could be here, it could be here. As long as it doesn't pass the center, this is called a chord, right? And what it makes are called segments. So this would be a segment, and here is another segment, right? So segments come from the chord. Then, if you draw a line which passes through the center and comes from one side to another, that is now called the diameter. And what it makes is semicircle. So this is a semicircle, and here is another semicircle, right? So these are the two things. Then if you now draw, instead of a continuous line, if you draw a radius and another radius, what you make here are called sectors. If I have a radius, I draw a radius is a line from the center to from the circumference to the center and stopping. Then from the center to that and stopping like this. If you do this, what you make is called you make sectors. The bigger one is called the major, the smaller one is called the minor. Just like for segments, where you had a chord, like a line like this. The bigger one is the major segment, then the smaller one is the minor segment, but they're segments. Yeah, these are sectors. This is major sector, then this is minor sector, okay? Now, this is not where we want. Our focus is on the word arc. So arc comes from sectors. Arc is not the inside, and that is what I wanted you to see. The arc is not the inside, but it is this part of the outside. It's a part of the circumference. So it is this part from here, from this radius back to it, like this, like this, like it. This is what we call the arc. So what is the arc? Is the part of the circumference. That outside lining is your arc. And it comes from the sector, just like this other one is an arc here. It is another arc here. So we have an arc. So there we go. We have this arc which is solid and this dashed one. Either way, now we're going to use the minor sector. We like it, and say this is theta. So what have we been told? We've been told to find the diameter. And we know that now there is an equation which relates the arc, which is this part of the circumference, to theta, and then the radius, because this is the radius and the radius. It is to say S is r theta. Arc is the S. S is the arc, is r theta. Radius times this. And your theta should be in radians. So S is equal to r theta. Now what we want in this case, we want the radius. And if we have the radius, then we can get the diameter, because we just know that two radiuses give you the diameter. So we know this is the only equation we have that relates these things, and it can give us the radius. Then from the radius we can go to the diameter. So let's do it. So we are going to just write, that was a nice few minutes of explanation. So we are going to say S, the arc length, the arc, the outside, remember that outside is equal to r, the radius, times theta, which is the angle inside your arc. So it's like we do it like this. This is going to be the arc length. This is the radius, then theta is the angle, okay? All right, so S is equal to r theta. We want the radius first. So let's find, so S over theta is equal to r. What is S? What is it? They said, what is the diameter? Yes, so S is the arc length, which we've been told is 4, divided by theta, which is pi over 7. And this will give us r, the radius. So this is going to be like this. 4 divided by pi over 7 is like to say 4 times. We can't divide by a fraction. When we are dividing by a fraction, we multiply by the inverse. So we flip it. Pi over 7 becomes 7 over pi, right? And we multiply the whole number this is going to give us r. Now the whole number will multiply the top, right? 4 multiplies the, please don't then come and put the answer here, because where will r go? R has to stay here. So it now becomes 4 times 7 becomes 28 over pi, because the whole number multiplies only the top, and it's going to be 28 over pi, and that is your radius. So your radius is 28 over pi, which you can get it if you want to get it in a more exact way. So we can say 28 divided by pi, we can get an answer. But I would rather have it, change it to a better way when we now get to diameter. So diameter is equal to 2r. So it's equal to 2r. Diameter, we can put a capital D, is equal to 2r, which is going to be 2 multiplying 28 over pi. And this now becomes, we can say 28 by 2. This becomes 56, so we'll get 56 over pi. This is it. So if we say 56 over pi, what do we get? We are going to get 17.8. So this is going to be the final thing. 17.8 units. Whatever these units are, they didn't tell us, so don't try to make it meters or centimeters or whatever. 17.8 units will be your diameter, okay? And we will be done. So this is everything for number 5, and we can go to number 6. Goodbye.